Good. So, hi, Hannah Hirsch from Stonebreaker Athletics. Used to be Stonebreaker Athletics. Now she's living in Belgium. She's our new guest. I'm gonna ask her some questions first. First one. I told you this one. If you were an animal, which one would you be?
Okay, well at least I had a chance to think about it.
Yeah.
I would definitely be a sea turtle. Getting to swim around. Sea turtles live a really long time. They're vegetarians. So sea turtle life would be the life for me.
Cool. All right. If you had to choose between toothpastes based on chili peppers or toilet paper based on, I don't know how to say that, like the part that's really like you scrub things with.
Like sandpaper?
Yeah, sandpaper.
So chili toothpaste, like spicy toothpaste, or sandpaper toilet paper?
You have to choose one.
I would do the toothpaste with the spice because that would like acclimate you to a little bit of discomfort, while toilet paper is a necessity, at least in my life, to not be sandpapery.
It's kind of bad too, yeah. All right, and the last one. Name a sport you'd like to try.
Ooh, name a sport
you haven't done yet.
I'd like to try.
Or something extreme.
Okay, I would like to try that sport where they jump off the cliffs in those squirrel suits, and they like fly around.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but
base jumping or base cliff diving.
Base jumping is
cliff
diving. I don't know. Cliff diving. I know what you mean though, like
squirrel suit.
I'll put some like a photo in there, so it's gonna be
of the
yeah. Put it in there.
Yeah.
All right. So Hannah's here today to talk about weightlifting. So can you tell something more about how you got into it?
Sure. So let's think. The first time I was really introduced to a specialized weightlifting program was after I'd been doing CrossFit for about 2 years.
Yeah.
And like many CrossFitters experience, you kind of run into a wall with your weightlifting technique, and you realize that it's costing you time on your workouts, and it's something that you kind of want to specialize in.
Mm-hmm. And
so I went to a certification that CrossFit was doing, a specialty certification. The Bergner, Sage Bergner ran the certification, and that was the first time that I was really introduced to the specialized sport and saw it as a specific technique and skill. So from there, I totally got obsessed and wanted to see competitions, wanted to know what other girls were lifting, say, in my same age group and weight class. And so I got prepared to do my first weightlifting meet with my, at the time, business partner, Jennifer. And that was about 5 years ago that we did our first.
Okay. How did that go?
Well, it was a learning experience. It was a learning experience. Okay. I missed all 3 of my snatches. I was also the lightest lifter there, so I lifted first, and that was very intimidating.
Oh yeah, then you have to go 3 times in a row.
And 3 times seems like a lot, but it's really nothing after you've missed your first.
5 minutes.
And so it was just, I felt really embarrassed, and at the time my partner was lifting as well, so she's like, you didn't really have a coach, like she was lifting too, so I basically just ran out of there, like was like, I'm so sad. And then she's like, she comes out, she's like, I gotta lift in this competition too. She's like, okay. She's like, you should do clean and jerk. You should do clean and jerk. I was like, I'm not doing clean and jerk.
You could?
And she said, you should do it. You should do it. I get back. Everyone's like, yeah, that sucks, but you should really do clean and jerk. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And I 3 for 3 clean and jerk.
Nice.
And it did feel good to at least do something, have not just a 0 on your total, but at least
you're allowed to do that. I didn't know that.
Well, I think it was like a sympathy. They knew. I knew I wasn't going to win the competition on my clean and jerk.
Jerk's very good, but
like out of nowhere,
that would be. I caught you all off guard.
Yeah. But it was a good experience to learn the like hard way. We learned a lot just in the weigh-in too, kind of how that was handled, and what makes a good weightlifting meet and an unorganized weightlifting meet. Because that first meet really was a small town kind of, kind of thrown together meet. And when you're at nationals or these bigger competitions, it's a completely different ball game. And it's really important to have variety of experiences in competition, both local, national, and international levels. So.
You have to be good enough to do that, though.
So.
And then you went on to you coached a lot of good weightlifters as well.
We've had what I consider like a nationally competitive team. We've had 2 women in the American Open, and we've had a 105 weightlifter, Ethan Herrick, who's taken home 2nd place at nationals, and has also ranked in international competitions and has amazingly strong technique and form, and a really smart guy too. He's also a chemist, and that's how I met him. Was my husband's actually a chemist as well, and so he's lifted with Stonebreaker. He's also lifted with Muscle Driver, with La Summit CrossFit. He has a trainer out in Kansas that he works with now, who he worked with before he came to Stonebreaker as well. So he's been passed around, or he's been around the circle of weightlifting. Everybody wants to coach a guy at that level. And we were extremely fortunate to have him choose to work with us.
How much did he lift?
He is top competition snatch. I've seen him do 165. I've seen him do over, I think, 168 just in training. And then clean and jerk, I believe he opened at American Open at 210.
He was small Belgium. That's a big difference.
I'm interested now though in the Belgian federation system and membership system. It seems kind of hard to break into it, and just like a little bit like confused on the status of like competitions or how to.
There aren't that many, unfortunately, so I'm trying to get into one as well. So you have to be in a club. You can't just out of nowhere come in and do them. You have to be in a certified club, and then you can join some, but they're not a lot. So I was trying to qualify for Belgian nationals, but it seems like I won't. We're recording this mid-June, like end of June actually, and it seems like there won't be any shot till mid-end September when the Belgian championships are.
So how are you really supposed to build your competition experience?
Exactly. There's just.
I guess there is options in Germany, Poland. I see things popping up there, but it would be nice to see like Belgium realign with the spirit of weightlifting, to just be more inclusive to clubs opening up, because back home it's like everywhere you look there's a weightlifting club. It's extremely competitive environment, and this is what produces champions, in my opinion, because you really have to put people at top talent together and have that motivation and have that drive to push yourself. And if you don't see anyone else pushing yourself just as hard as you are, then it's kind of like you get maybe a little too comfortable. You don't get revved up enough. So, but I'm interested in figuring out how to put together a Belgian team, or at least promote the idea of doing some competitions that would be recognized as.
And there are some, but it's just not a lot yet. It's not that popular in Belgium. It's getting more popular, I think. The same thing, like I tend to say often in quite a lot of things that Belgium's like 5 years behind on the States, especially in stuff like CrossFit, weightlifting, and maybe growing a little bit because of the interest in CrossFit, which is also like later here than it used to be in the States, of course. So then maybe it will rise a bit more. I went to look to nationals last year, and there were a lot of people who were CrossFitters. Like, I think there were 4 people from CrossFit Leuven competing there. So from there, there's getting more input and more new people, which otherwise probably wouldn't have never like tried it before. So that's good, I guess. Yeah. So what's your like view on coaching? How do you like programming or?
Okay. On coaching, I believe that you can have really smart people, but it takes more than just that to be a good coach. It takes more than just an understanding of a textbook of technique or anatomy. That it really takes compassion, just person to person, to help somebody become fitter, or just more healthy, in my opinion, living better. And there's a lot of aspects to coaching that make it difficult, because really when you're working with clients and you're coaching them and you're a good coach, you only have them for 1 hour.
Yeah.
And once they're done with that 1 hour, it's kind of like it's up to them to be independent and to make smart choices and not to put themselves at risk or to make poor nutrition. So it's about incorporating just a community of support. And so I believe to be a good coach, you also have to be a leader and a builder of a community, more than just like raw knowledge of technique or application. And I also think that you have to kind of put your own like ego aside sometimes and choose whether or not you want to build yourself as a competitive athlete, or if you want to put together a team. And you can participate with them, but you really have to prioritize one or the other. So it's a balance for a coach to decide,
I remember when I started coaching in CrossFit, the first workouts I was joining, I stopped after like 1 or 2 classes because I couldn't like focus on my own workouts and keep an eye on what everyone else was doing. I couldn't do it. Maybe some other people can, but I couldn't. It was impossible.
And so that's why, if you can get like a trainer to do one class and kind of oversee that class while you work out, that's like really great for the community, because now you get to see coach participating and sweating and doing all the terrible things you have to do, and there's like a connection there. But if you're not watching over your class because you want to get your own workout in, then I think it's your clients have to take the brunt of that.
And they see like do your assistant work, and then they see you doing it, like, okay, she does it as well. It's true, because if you don't do it, if you don't show it, often they like, I'll do it later. Or, see you bring your Tupperware box with your broccoli and your chicken, and like you see like, she's actually doing it.
Right.
And so how do you like program for? Let's say I have a meet in 2 months. How would you like build up to that?
So 2 months, you're working with maybe like 8 weeks, which is a good amount of time, I would say. 8 weeks is maybe what I would consider a medium long cycle, because I do program in intervals of say 6 to 12 weeks. Okay. So under 6 weeks, that's really not a whole lot of time. It's only about a month and a half to work. You're not going to see a lot of results at the end of that. So 6 weeks is, just a little bit more time to work with. 8 weeks is, I would say, kind of the medium duration of a program. 12 weeks is, it's going to feel like forever. 3 months is going to feel like a very long time to be doing the same program. So 8 weeks is a good time. I would start off with high rep, at least triples, no more than 70%.
But like weightlifting. Not squats or shoulder presses.
Well, if you've decided you're going to do the competition, you don't need to squat. That's
true,
and so really it's going to be about just completing that first competition with a score.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to the Olympics after your first.
No.
Squatting is something that you incorporate. It's a foundation, right?
Yeah.
And it's something that you're going to be building nonstop. You know, you're never going to stop squatting.
Right.
So you don't really need to prioritize it right when you're getting ready for that first competition.
Okay.
You want to make sure that you're lifting those lifts to the standard that they need to be for your score to count. Because you might be thinking, okay, I've done CrossFit competitions, I've done snatch before. Then you get on the competition platform and you're red lighted. And you're like, hold up, why did that happen?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there was a press out on it.
Yeah.
Well, that's not, press out is generally accepted as okay. You still get the rep. But in weightlifting, you are given basically, you're judged by a panel of 3 people.
Yeah.
And 1 in front, 2 on the sides. And if you don't get at least 2 white lights, then the lift will be disqualified.
Yeah. Of course.
So you really have to understand the competition, and that would be just grinding in that routine so you feel comfortable on specifically the weightlifting platform.
So you do a lot of like the movements themselves, snatch, clean, and jerk, and you would go higher reps to lower reps, I guess.
Yeah, I would start high rep, and I want to see the triples just to see what they do, like what habits are
going to.
Funny
how we talk about triples as high reps.
Yeah, it's like you're checking your heart rate after that third rep. Yeah, triplets. Yeah, probably not that high rep. Compared to other things.
Compared to other sports,
but you're doing a lot of triples. You know, like a 7x3. So you're doing at least 30 reps at 70%. At least 40 reps at 70%. Progressions are good. Just working that confidence, because you do have to be confident when you're competing. You have to be independent and ready to go out there and just get the job done, and react to whatever happens. Keep it cool. I always say, don't react badly to your lifts. Even if it was a train wreck, don't be like, you know, when you're done with the lift. Keep your head up and make it work, because if the judges see you all pouty, then you could just be throwing away your chance to.
Okay.
So yeah, be confident, be independent, know what the standards are for each of the movements. As a coach, you don't really have to play too much coaching strategy on somebody's first weightlifting meet. It's just about reading what they can do and almost holding them back from hitting a PR weight.
Really?
Like, I wouldn't want my client to go hit that competition and then they're going expecting that they're going to hit a PR weight. You go in, your first lift would be a lift that you could wake up in the middle of the night
and do it.
Yeah. No question that it's going to get done. Because you can't go back down and say, I want to do over at a lighter weight. You can only stay there or go up. So think about what weight. Be honest with yourself. Don't jeopardize your first weightlifting meet to get a PR, because that's not what it's about. It's just about doing the competition and getting a number and using that. Yeah. And if you go too heavy, and I see it all the time at weightlifting meets, even with coaches that you have worked with weightlifters, pushing their weightlifter to go too heavy, outside their means of what they're really capable at that.
Okay. Yeah. But for your first lift, you'd obviously go pretty light, but it wouldn't, like, if you have it in your mind, would you go, like, what percentages would you use for, like, a beginner? If 100 is my PR, right? Mm-hmm. Which is not, unfortunately, but my snatch PR.
I was looking at congratulations.
No, unfortunately not. But imagine it is, just to make it easy. What would you do?
I would open them at probably like 70 kilos.
Really?
Yeah. Oh. And then maybe they could work their way up to an 85.
Really?
Yeah. Because if it's their first meet, think about it. I want them chomping at the bits to come back and prove that next meet, they're going to get 100 kilos. But for that time, I want to demonstrate that my lifters, my athletes, are smart people, that they're patient people, that they're confident, that they can go out and debut their technique at a no, not the heaviest weight ever, but they're debuting the technique at that point. They're not debuting how much can I just ugly, sloppily get up there. I want people to be like, wow, he's lifting pretty light, but with that form, like the next meet, I better be getting my lifts up because he's like hot on the trail. You don't want to just come out, oh yeah, well, he could get 100 up today, but it would look like a train wreck.
And then, like the next meet, you would go for a new PR, or
I would maybe let them open at 85.
Yeah.
Say they're still at the 100 range. Okay, now they're opening at that last lift that they know that they can do on the competition platform. And then 15 kilos up, then maybe if he hits it and it's strong, then you go to 93. Okay. If it's not so nice looking, maybe you keep it like 89. Okay. Maybe 91, because there's probably going to be a lot of people lifting at that 90 mark. Yeah. Okay. So that would maybe give him a little more time to recover. And then if he hits that, wow, try 100. Why not? Yeah. You've gotten 2 out of 3. And that would be a case where the athletes demonstrate enough patience to get there that, they can probably handle going out there and doing a PR. But rarely at even like elite levels are you seeing elite athletes PR at competitions, right? Really? They know what weights they're really capable of hitting, and they know what weights they have to hit to go on to the next stage. So it's not about just going as heavy, because you have to play it smart, right? There is strategy at the international Olympic level.
But especially if you just want to qualify, you don't see Usain Bolt like in the easy heats, like going all out. Just
and where are you in your training cycle? Because if you see some qualifying meet pop up, but you're halfway through a cycle, just hit the weights that you need to qualify for nationals. Don't,
There's no need to overdo it. It's true.
Because you want to build a positive attitude towards the competition, going to the competition. And if they're missing lifts because they're not hitting their record lifts, and that's the attitude, and that you're failing, and that you are disappointing, or even that you don't care about technique, you care more about just proving that you can do something. That's not that's not what legitimizes weightlifting. That's kind of what makes it negative,
So if I hear you well, like patience is like the number one thing for you in weightlifting.
Yeah, it really is. Absolutely.
Be patient in your competitions and your training as well, I guess. If you do a lot of triples in the beginning, gradually go up. Or you go up in your weight or your reps, or.
I would see with an 8-week, you would probably just gradually go up. With a 12-week or a 10-week, you could maybe do a deload week in there where you're going up to say about 85, 90, and then you go back down to 70, and then you ramp back up to 100%.
To make sure your form's still good and you get some time to tissues to adapt.
And you could also do a pre-test week in there as well. If you're working with 8 weeks, maybe at week 5, you could do 100%, maybe max out on a snatch or clean jerk, see where you're at mid-cycle, but not let that really change how you're doing the cycle, but just to see where you're at. It just depends on how much experience you have at those heavy skills.
Really depends on the person, I guess. All right, good. I think that's about it. If you want to add something, or you have anything else to say, like weightlifting?
Weightlifting's cool. It's fun. It's safe. Cool. You should do weightlifting.
Not only for men. A lot of people think it's like a men's sport, but it's definitely not.
Right. I have a website and a blog, Live and Lifts, that you can check out.
I'll put the link in.
And I post free workouts, weightlifting workouts on there, just opinion blog stuff.
Read it. It's very good.
So maybe I'll figure out how to start that national team.
All right.
Because there's talent out there.
There is talent out there, obviously.
It's just not coming together in that community to
we need to make it more popular.
Belgium #1 in weightlifting.
That would be very, very special, but yeah, let's try to beat the USA. Let's do it. All right. Thanks a lot, Hannah.
Thanks.